Alright, hey YouTube. Good morning also. This is Mary Greenlee. This is that you hear talking. I'm Matthew Baird. I'm covering her channel because she's not getting enough footage. This is part of my Revelations coverage as it's happening 2021. Yellowstone has fishing restrictions right now. I have heard word of mouth that there's been a lot of fish dying. So starting yesterday, yeah, that's real easy to read there. Rivers and streams are prohibited from fishing from 2 p.m. to sunrise. They say it's due to the high water temperatures and unprecedented low stream flows. Yeah, right. So it hasn't been that warm there at Yellowstone in the 70s, and the closure is going to remain until who knows when. So why are they lying about it? You can go by what they tell you, or you can go by the temperature in the area. Here's an example of today's thumbnail for Maple Creek. This is supposed to be. And then yesterday, this here is what it looked like. There was several marked in red also. Yeah, earthquakes that they're not reporting. They're not reporting earthquakes right there at Yellowstone after having just, I think in 2021, or no, it was like 2017 they were doing the flyovers unofficially. Today and Purple Mountain yesterday. Looks like the activity is more so today than it was yesterday. Again, this is Purple Mountain today. I'm trying to zoom out. Commercials. All right. What it has. USGS has only 6 earthquakes reported so far today. We got Crow Park, Wyoming, all the way down here. Stanley, Idaho, 2.1. Another 2.1 for Stanley, Idaho, 1.9. Stanley, 1.3. Churchill, Montana, up north there. And Virginia City, a 1.8. Those are probably being reported by the University of Montana. And I am right. You'll see right up here, Montana, Bureau of Mines and Geology. We'll click on the link, and it gives you all the contact information. The 1.3, again, reported by Montana. She's all over there. Stanley, Idaho earthquakes, again, being reported by Montana, not the University of Utah, who is gone. Remember, none of the reporting that's happening these days is happening by professional, quote-unquote, professional reporters. So you'll have to forgive us. If you want the real information, you're going to have to deal with real people today, people. YouTube or no YouTube. They can report them. This earthquake, Crowheart, Wyoming, way down south there, reported by the University, or actually the Montana Bureau of Mines and Geology. On the interactive map, it shows the location of this earthquake right there. Up over here is Yellowstone Lake. So I'm going to start with the most recent earthquake marked in red. Here we have Maple Creek, Little West Thumb, and the promontory. The signature is stronger at the promontory. And I've talked about this signature up here that's been showing up. Well, it has been showing up mostly at Little West Thumb and the promontory, but we have it here at Maple Creek. You often see this signature when magma is going to have a dike intrusion. A good example is there in Hawaii. You can barely see it here at Little West Thumb. I'll make it bigger. Oh, okay. For a little bit. See that there? I'm going to bring it down for you. That would help. What we need to start watching for is very shallow earthquakes. Now we know the crust of the earth is getting pretty brittle. We know we have that crack at the bottom of Yellowstone Lake. And earthquakes, when they're deep, you really don't know which direction that the magma is going to come up until they get shallow. USGS gives us the BS baloney about the magnitude of the earthquakes. Very possibly they could be giving us the BS.
So I have the observatories, the solar observatories. NASA has not been reporting sightings of unidentified flying objects and events in space.
The roof of the magma chamber is only about 3 miles
While the
down.
politicians are trying to
And
terrify us
last
into thinking the
Thursday, there
flu's
was
gonna kill
one
everybody.
earthquake
Yes,
that was
ladies
only
and gentlemen,
3,000
the
feet below the surface
the
of the earth.
virus
It was a
is
1.7
a
magnitude
flu,
location,
a weaponized flu,
only
but
zero
a
point
flu.
0.9 kilometers in depth. So that earthquake was
Less dangerous than regular.
2,950 feet, and we know that there is pockets of melt that are only 600 feet below where people are walking. This 1.8 was only 1.7 miles below the surface. And what I wanted to show you was how it's actually these shallower earthquakes are actually
See how
over
she's
a
all over
broader
that
area,
map? This woman has been
which
doing this for
leads me to
years, since
believe
2012.
that
And honestly, I'm
one of
tired
those,
of people
either a
in
dike intrusion
messing with
or
each other in
eruption,
their private
is
lives while
actually
all
going
this
to
is
be
going
a
on,
very large area.
and they're acting like
This
they
one
know
here
what's
has zero
important.
point 0.9, which I
Do
assume is
you?
probably larger, was
Then
1.8 kilometers in depth. So
okay.
that one is actually only 1.2 miles down.
I don't think
All
you'll
right,
care
so
once
we
you're
got
dead.
0.8. That was only
If you don't watch what's going on around you,
2,620 feet. It's up over here.
especially when the
See
people who
that?
are supposed to be watching out for you start lying about you and to
I
you.
tried to do a video yesterday, but the sound was all screwed up. But here's some of the notes from yesterday. How can we tell when a volcano will erupt? This is from Google search. An increase in frequency and intensity of earthquakes. Noticeable steaming or romantic activity in a new or enlarged areas of hot ground. We have seen that repeatedly. Subtle swelling of the ground surface. We've seen that too. Small changes in heat flow. We've seen that too. Changes in the composition or relative abundance of chromatic gases. Now, another thing, this crack down there at the bottom of Yellowstone Lake, they didn't know it occurred until there was a earthquake swarm back in 2008 and 2009. And the note said it was the
Hey
northern
everybody.
part of Yellowstone
I
Lake.
did not expect a black
The
screen.
photogenic
Now you can see
swarm
what my place
exhibited
kind of looks like in
extraordinarily high
what I kind of look like,
vibration
which I
rate
was
of
not
one
prepared to be on
kilometer a
camera.
day and is interpreted to be associated with the magma
Look at
injection
the clock.
along a pre-existing
Think about
vertical
time.
fracture. A crack in the ground, dike intrusion is what it's called, of a multi rate of up to 5 meters every 3 seconds, I think that is. 5 meters a second. The magma was rising.
And yeah, and there is a certain amount of activity every year around Yellowstone. Believe it. I again have been watching since 2012, and it's come to my attention that every 13 years, just about, the conditions set forward in the historical
Very few
writings,
repeating earthquakes were identified, and the authors concluded that the
they keep
sequence was initiated by volcanic
reoccurring every 13
polarization
years or so.
that caused
However,
the
they don't quite become
mineralization
sufficient.
of new fractures.
And World War
I'll
III,
give you
which
a
we are
link
now
to this.
coming up
This is
on,
from a paper that USGS released.
we are now actually
Showing
in
about
conflict with the R country and the G country.
earthquakes image. And we'll bring it over.
Tina.
These earthquakes were getting shallower and shallower. And it goes all the way back to swarms in 1994, 2002, 2006, 2008. Yes, they have had many swarms of earthquakes, but never at the magnitude that they are currently having. So why don't they report these earthquakes? They don't want to create a panic. Plain and simple. It's all about the money. They don't want the stock market to crash.
Right. They don't want you to realize that here shortly, the government's not going to be able to do anything to protect you or your family. Unless, of course, you're willing to basically live under military law. If you can handle military law for the rest of your life,
Not being reported comes in
Count on Uncle Sam.
0.07. And I did not include the entire seismic wave, as you can see. The next one I'm going to show you shows up on all three monitors. That's what I'm going to start with.
Don't know exactly when it's gonna happen, but they said it'd be like that anyway. But come on.
8:50 Universal Time. That would be 3:50 a.m. Central Daylight Time. So there's the spectrogram. You can
Why
see
are they
how
not
bright
reporting them?
all the hot gases, how long it lasted.
Why isn't the Schumann spikes and the Schumann frequency? Why aren't those on the news?
And I shortened that signature.
I'm sure the fires in Africa, or the fires all around our country, and the sandstorms in Africa causing the clouds to go red may or may not have been in the news. Along with the iron oxide from Planet X from Nibiru being in our vicinity. It has a brown dwarf star, so it puts off a lot of iron oxide.
For about 30 seconds.
Brown or red?
Looks like there was several. You can see we got another one marked in red right there at Maple Creek. And it was picked up on all three monitors. I mean, Maple Creek is quite a ways from West Thumb and the promontory. But again, it looks like Little West Thumb was a stronger signature. Let's take a look at the different signatures.
And these are the ones that weren't included.
There we go.
These are earthquakes that are not being reported by the USGS, much less to the population by the public media, mainstream media, the lamestream.
Here at Little West Thumb, it comes in as a
Brought to you by the Television,
1.
courtesy of Rick Spear, that saying is.
Now, it should not matter the location where you take the magnitude of an earthquake. The magnitude of the earthquake is always the same at all monitors. Even though it's a greater distance, the magnitude is always the same. So Maple Creek, you can see at the bottom, 2.21. And let's go to the other one.
Which is significant enough to report, yet was not reported. Okay. Yeah, again, she is totally about she is totally and completely about this, and that is cool. But I'm gonna try to get to Rex's channel here, Leak Project. For those who haven't, okay, see, now it's just irritating me. See, search. We want to go to search channel, options, more. Go to my channel real quick, get to the search function. Okay. Why? Here we go, search. Go, wrong search, function. Go back here. There we go. Then we'll go over here to search. Sorry, that was terrible. Can't always be a perfect show. And I don't even try, so that's... Don't even try to give you a perfect show, because I believe in the Asian philosophy that imperfection is a perfect representation of life. Thus, surreality TV programs people to have unrealistic, problematic expectations and coping mechanisms. Alright. Anytime. Anytime would be great. You can see right there, it's Leak Project. Rick, come on. He put it perfectly. He's making the connections. It's a war between Enki and Enlil. However, the information historically speaking, why is it not selecting that? The information historically speaking would indicate that Inky was the one that was giving. It's not functioning, so I'm going to wrap it up. Anyway, Inky was the one that seems to have been pro-human, whereas the more biblically traditionally represented little g, which would be Enlil, really just sees us as pack animals, and well, very militant style of handling us as a species, whereas Inky is more of the traditional tribal style of civilization and perspective. Okay. Thank you, and have a good day, good night, or good evening, wherever you may be.